Nets, Knicks, Madison Square Garden. Does it get better than that? There's Kevin Durant. Pick things up in the second quarter. Knicks leading by 7. RJ Barrett, nice little drive, spin, finish, and 1. Knicks take a 9-point lead. Less than a minute left in the half here. Knicks leading by 15. Barrett drives, passes Jericho Sims. Nice slam there. Knicks up 17 at the half. Let's go to the third quarter here. Knicks again having a good first half. Nets down 13 at this point. They had trailed by as many as 21. That's Durant from long range, and it is good. So here come those Nets. Fourth quarter, Nets down 7. Durant, Kyrie Irving all day long. Nets down 4 now. Moments later, Nets down 3. That's Irving again. Fast break the other way to Durant. Nets went on a 24-4 run to pull within 1. And so 4:15 remaining here. Game tied at 96, again with Durant. He would finish with 32, 10, and 11. Nets up 7 here. Shot clock winding down, and let's do it again here. Durant to Mills. Obi Toppin cannot stop him. And Kyrie Irving's like, hello, yeah, remember me? I haven't been able to play here, but now I can, and that's why we get this dub. And so here's what it looks like right now. The Nets host the Cavaliers on Friday night. If they win that and then beat the Pacers on Sunday, Brooklyn would finish with the 7 seed. So they need to basically win 1 game and 2 chances at home in the play-in to qualify for the postseason. So things are looking out good here for those Brooklyn Nets. And so, Wendy, what is your reaction at this point to the late season surge by Brooklyn? Everything seems to be going in their favor.
I know. After everything that happened with Kyrie, after everything that happened with Harden, after not getting Ben Simmons after the trade, here they are with destiny in their hands. They beat the Cavs tomorrow night at home. They're probably, I would say they're probably 90% to have the 7 seed and have the matchup situation that they want. Now, while I can tip my cap to that, I have to say they needed Durant and Irving to play every second of the second half of this win last night against, frankly, not a very good Knicks team. And if you go back and look at the last 2 weeks, Steve Nash has been riding Kyrie and Durant very hard. They lead the league in minutes. They are number 1 and number 2 in minutes over the last 2 weeks. Over the last 6 games, Kyrie's at 42 minutes a game and Durant's at 41. And so their playoffs have already started. And I'll never forget what Durant has said about last season. I know everybody talks about how if his foot wasn't on the line, that they would have gone to the finals. And Durant said that's not true because there was no way he could have kept up playing that minute load through 2 more series. And I would say, just as a little yellow flag, that the minute load for these 2 guys is already creeping way up before the play-in tournament even begins.
So Wendy's kind of taking this like glass half empty approach. Is there a glass half full approach perhaps here for the Nets? I mean, they've won 2 in a row.
I mean, I would say it's even further than half empty because the biggest question mark is, well, maybe we can get Ben Simmons back and he can help us with some defensive deficiencies. Even Ben Simmons' prowess defensively is not enough for this group. So that extra bullet in the chamber that may be delivered with a Ben Simmons return ain't going to be enough. Defensively, this group quite simply doesn't have it. Is there now a little bit of intrigue? Of course. We've got the Nets, we've got KD, we've got Kyrie going into the postseason, and they're in a good spot controlling their own destiny as a 7 seed. That may get you through the play-in, great. But as it's set up right now, they're supposed to play the number 2 seeded Celtics if it all lays out as it currently is. You don't think Jason Tatum and you don't think Brown and Tatum want that type of matchup? Tatum gave these dudes 54 last time out. He's probably going to be thinking, I'm going for 60 against this perimeter defense. What it comes down to is there is no savior waiting in the wings, even if Ben Simmons does return. This team is who they are right now. Heck, Joe Harris, that elite spacer that's out right now with injury and is not going to be seen for the remainder, he's probably maybe their best defender. That's how bad defensively this group is. It's not sustainable, especially with the usages that Wendy's talking about. They can't make a run.
Okay, so they can't make a run. Wendy, what do you think the ceiling is for this Nets team, given how much Kevin and Kyrie have to play at this point?
Well, I will say this, Durant has been, a full believer in just let us get in and it doesn't matter. And when you've got a talent like Durant, obviously that inspires confidence. And I will tell you this, as I talk to people around the league, and you're going to probably see it over this weekend, nobody wants to face these guys. And yeah, you are right, Jordan. Jason Tatum is probably going to average 35 points a game in a series against the Nets. But they're not going to have Robert Williams. They're not going to be at their tip-top shape. So getting the Celtics with, slightly wounded is probably what the Nets would prefer. So while I'm sitting here saying I think they can win 3 series as currently they're playing, I understand why they have this growing belief that they can pull this off.
And Wendy, I guess bigger than that, as we lean on the usage of Kyrie and KD, what about some of these problematic comments? And look, I'm not trying to be a drama king here and take it too far, but you've got supplementary pieces that do it all guard like Bruce Brown openly saying after practice at the top of the week, look, this is a grind. Like, I thought we were lacking energy in practice. And then we hear Kyrie saying it's March Madness. This is the go time. I'm looking at teams like the Bucks. I'm looking at the teams like the Celtics. And yes, Robert Williams needs a return. I'm looking at the Heat. These teams know who they are right now. I think the perfect illustration of what we saw with the Suns, with the Nets, was that game versus the Knicks. You can't give up 67 points in a first half to the New York Knicks and convince me that you came back in the second half so they're going to be okay. It's not just get into the postseason and things get figured out. It's not just KD and Kyrie have a lot on their shoulders. This entire group, Shea, has it on them.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Durant looked horrible in that first half against the Knicks, too. He had no rebounds and 9 points. Also, they're a game back now from the Cavaliers, who they have to face tomorrow night. That obviously is going to have huge implications. Guys, thanks. We'll revisit this later on.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.